One thing we missed last time when we had the validations for the form was the select box. So if we press this next, now every text box and input control shows just the border in red color, except this one. Uh, it is still showing that icon, the exclamation mark, and we missed that last time. If we select a value, it still shows that check mark. So we need to address this. So the initial thought is we can simply use the form-select class in our SCSS file, similar to what we did for the form-control class. Uh, just like this. So we can simply add here two more lines, form-select colon valid and form-select colon invalid. We are adding this form-select because in our add stu personal file, which is this one, for the select box, let's find the select here. We are using the class form-select, but for the input types we are using form-control. So that's why we are going to target this form-select class also to remove the background image, just like we did for the form-control. So let's save and let's refresh. And soon as we refresh, we notice one thing, that downward arrow which was there before for this select box is no longer visible now. So now if we click the next button, now we can see it's not showing that icon, exclamation mark icon. And when we select a valid option, it also not showing that green check mark. But now it's hard to identify as a select box or drop down list because that icon is not visible now due to the fact that we added this background image none, because that downward arrow is also coming as a background image. Soon as we set this to none, that background image of that arrow is also not visible anymore. So to address this, what we have to do is we should remove these form-select lines from here, and let's create a different rule, form-select valid pseudo class, form-select invalid pseudo class, and what we need to do is we need to preserve that background image of the downward arrow. When we do the removing of the icons, we need to preserve that existing arrow, or maybe we can add a different image of a downward arrow as well. So I'm going to do that. So let me add a comment here. Preserve the arrow background, and I will add the background image from a URL like this. So if we go to this URL, it shows this arrow, downward arrow. So next I'm going to remove the validation icons. So I will add another comment here. Remove extra validation icon layers. And I will use this background repeat and no repeat, and I will use this important. So what happens here is, soon as we add this background image of the arrow, the downward arrow, so it replaces that validation icons. So that means we are not manually removing those green check mark or red exclamation mark, but soon as we add this background image, it's overwriting the entire background image, replacing the check mark and the exclamation mark. So that's why this green check and red exclamation mark disappears, uh, not because we remove those intentionally, but because our new background image replaced the Bootstrap images. So, but this one is just to uh, let it know, like we don't need to repeat this arrow, and that's what it does. And in addition to that, so the next one, the background position, I'm going to add that one next. So this one actually controls where the arrow appears in the input box, in the select box. So it shows this in the right and 0.75 REM. So that means the arrow is slightly away from the right edge. Slightly means 0.75 REM of space, and center is for vertically align it. So vertically centers the arrow inside the select box, and that's what that line does. And the next one is background size. Uh, Let me give that next. 1 REM. So if you want to further increase, we can add something like 1.2 REM. And let's do that. And next, I'm going to add the padding here. So actually, padding right. So this one adds space between the text and the arrow. So let's save. And I'm going to refresh again. And now we can see this arrow shows, but I think the download arrow is too big, so I will change it to maybe 0.9 rem, and I think now it looks good. So if we press the next button, it is now showing only the red border, and that exclamation mark is no longer showing. Soon as we select a valid option, it does not show that check mark again.